I'm going to save you $300 in just 5 minutes by giving you the step-by-step instructions on how to file your mandatory beneficial ownership information report. Let's go. Hi, my name is Jay Catalano. Before the end of the year, you must fill out your beneficial ownership information report. You could have your tax preparer do it for you, but they'll charge you anywhere from $100 to $300. But what is the beneficial ownership information report and who has to fill it out? A beneficial ownership information report is a form that you, as the business owner, need to fill out to tell the government who really owns or controls your company. Basically, it's like letting the government know who's behind the scenes, which helps prevent fraud and illegal activity. So no matter what kind of business you own, including my candle makers out there, most business owners are required to fill this out to stay compliant with the law. If you don't fill it out, you could be subject to a fine of up to $500 per day. And in severe cases, even criminal charges. The good news, this form takes less than 5 minutes to fill out, and I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. The first thing you're going to do is go to the website where we can find the BOIR form to fill out. The URL to that site is www.fincen.gov/BOI. I will link the URL in the description below so you can fill it out as we go through the form. Once at the site, you're going to click File a Report using the BOI e-filing system. You will notice a lovely governmental welcome sign on the left-hand side that basically says, "Welcome to this site." This is an online tool that helps businesses file their beneficial ownership information report. This report is required by law to let the government know who owns or controls the company, and the information goes to a government agency called FinCEN. On the right-hand side of the screen, we have two sections: the BOI reporting section and the Bank Secrecy Act reporting. We don't need to worry about that section, so we'll leave that alone. However, we do need to go to the beneficial ownership information reporting section to fill out the form. So go ahead and click Get Started. Once you're on the next page, you'll see two new sections. The top section is the section that allows you to download the BOI form, fill it out by hand, and then re-upload it to the site. We're not going to do that. That's like ordering takeout, then showing up at the restaurant to cook it yourself. No bueno. Instead, we're going to go to the next section that allows us to fill out the BOIR form online, fill it out online, and submit it online. With that said, let's click the Prepare and Submit BOIR button now. The next thing you will see is a warning sign. Basically, it's saying that by using this government system, you agree that your activity may be monitored, recorded, and reviewed by the U.S. Department of Treasury, and it can only be used for authorized purposes. Oh, isn't that sweet? They are warning us that they are watching us. So thoughtful. Anyway, we must agree to continue, so let's press I agree now. You should now see a screen with 5 sections. Before filling those sections out, I just want to let you know that I have already filled out my own form for UpVibe. For this demo, I'll be using a made-up company, owner, address, and other personal information so you can easily follow along. The last thing I want is some crazy YouTube nut knocking on my door. Let's begin with section 1. On the very top, there is a paragraph of information. Basically, it's saying you need to fill out the whole report with all the information needed. Make sure to complete the parts with a red asterisk. If it doesn't have a red asterisk, you don't have to fill it out. Number 1, type of filing. Luckily, if you don't understand any of the options it is giving you, you can hover your cursor over each option so it can tell you what each option means. For example, if I hover over A, initial report, it will tell me what it means. As you can see, it says check A if this is the first BOIR filed for the reporting company. And by the way, if you don't know what a reporting company is, it's a company that is required to regularly report information to the government. For example, a corporation, LLC, partnership, sole proprietor, and foreign companies. Now, this is most likely your first time filing this form, or why else would you be here unless you came here to see my pretty face? So if this is your first time, you will need to click A, Initial Report. And by the way, for your information, B is for someone who filed a report before but needs to correct something. For example, maybe you mistakenly added your home address as your business address. If this is the case, you'll need to click B. C is for someone who filed a report but needs to update it. For example, maybe you recently moved and you need to update that information. If that's the case, you would click C. And D is for those who filed a report but are recently exempt from filing. You'll still need to file the report, just not as thoroughly as the others. And like I said before, I will check A, Initial Report. Number 2 is an auto-filled in date, so you don't need to worry about filling that out. Then, before clicking Next, you should read the Privacy Act and Paperwork Reduction Act notice. Let me guess, you don't want to be bothered. I get it. Basically, this notice explains that the Privacy Act and Paper Reduction Act require FinCEN to inform people that the information they collect is necessary for national security and law enforcement, that providing certain information is mandatory and can lead to penalties if not given. Hope that helps. Let's click Next and head to Section 2. In Section 2, you will notice number 3 says Request to Receive FinCEN ID. You most likely don't have a FinCEN ID yet, so you need to click this box. Moving on to number 4, this box is for those who are a foreign pooled investment vehicle. You're most likely not a foreign pooled investment vehicle, but if you were, you'd be like a big money pot where people from different countries put their money together. Then a professional uses that money to buy things like stocks or real estate, hoping to make more money for everyone. Is that you? If it is, give me some of that money. Number 5 is asking for your reporting company legal name. This is your business name. Now, my real business name is UpVibe, LLC, but like I said earlier, I already filled it out, so I will make up a name for this example. I will put in Crazy Creators, LLC. For number 6, you only need to fill this out if you have a trade name or are operating as a DBA, which stands for Doing Business As. This means if you're using a name different from your legal business name, you'll need to provide that information. This doesn't apply to me, so I'll move on. Number 7 is asking for your identification type. If you click the scroll down arrow, you will notice 3 options: EIN, or your employer ID number, SS/ITIN, which is either your Social Security or individual taxpayer ID number, and then, of course, foreign is your last of the options. I have an EIN, so I will click EIN and then move to number 8, where I will add in my EIN. Please note that you don't need to add any dashes or lines, just add your numbers and nothing else. On to number 9, you only need to fill that out if you have a foreign tax ID only. I do not, so I will move to number 10A. My country is the United States, so I will add that now. After clicking that, you will see new boxes open up, so you can add additional information. So for number 10B, I will add in my state, and for this example, I will put California as my state. For parts C and D, add those if you are a local or tribe. I am neither of these, so I will move on to number 11. In number 11 through 15, you will add your business address only. My business address is my residential address, so that makes life easier for me. Let's fill that out now. For this example, I will use the address 1234 Silly Street. USA is my country, and Laughing Town will be the city. California, once again, is the state, and 90210 is my zip. Once that's filled out, click Next. Moving on to Section 3, you will see Box 16. You will check this box only if your legal business began before January 1st, 2024. My legal business, UpVibe, began in 2023, so that is what I checked before. For this example, I will check that box again. Once you check this box, you will see a pop-up that says, when existing reporting company is indicated, all company applicant fields will be cleared disabled. Do you wish to continue? Basically, this means that if you choose existing reporting company, all company applicant fields that you see after this part of the application will be cleared or disabled. That's perfectly fine. Click yes. After doing so, again, if your business began before January 1, 2024, you will notice that the next few parts are disabled, like the pop-up mentioned a few seconds ago. That's totally fine, and it will make life easier from this point on. So scroll down to the bottom because everything on this page is disabled, and click Next. Moving on to Section 4, number 35. You are only going to check this box if you are a minor, which you most likely are not. If that is the case, then move on to number 36. On box 36, it's asking you for your FinCEN ID number, but if you remember before, we checked the box to request a FinCEN ID number, so we don't need to fill this section in. On box 37, you will most likely not have to check this box as you are, like me, not exempt. If you are exempt, you know what to do. Now, moving on to numbers 38 through 42, this is where you're going to put your personal information, your first and last name, and your date of birth. I will add in my fake last name, McGee, and my first name, Chuckles. Now, for this example, I don't have a middle name, nor do I have a suffix, so I'll leave those blank. But if you do, fill those out if it applies to you. Now, it's time to add in the date of birth. I will add in November 5th, 1955. And by the way, I am not 69 years old. However, November 5th, 1955 is a date that's quite well known and somewhat famous from a movie many years ago. Leave a comment below if you know what date this is from. Moving on to numbers 43 to 47, we're going to add in our residential address here. As I stated before, my address for my business and residence are the same, so I will add in the address that I added before. 1234 Silly Street, Laughingtown, USA, California, 90210. After you put in your residential address, you will move on to number 48. This is where you will decide how you want to identify yourself. If you click the scroll down arrow, you have a few choices. You can use your state issued driver's license, state, local, tribe issued ID, U.S. passport, or foreign passport. I will select state driver's license and move to 49. Box 49 is for you to add in your identifying document number. In my case, that is my state issued driver's license number. So I will add in a fake number without any dashes or slashes. Moving on to number 50A through D, I will add in the necessary information. My country, USA, my state, for this example, California, and I am not a part of a local or tribe, so I will leave that blank. However, if that applies to you, fill that out accordingly. Now, number 51 is where you will upload an image of your identifying document. I highlighted my state driver's license as my identifying document type, so I will upload a picture of my license. Note, the image you are about to upload has to be less than 4 megabytes and should be named something simple like document.png or attachment.png or JPEG. Don't add any dashes or commas or else it will not allow you to continue. Keep it simple. Once uploaded, let's click Next. Now, we are on to the last section, Section 5. Here, you're going to add your email address and then confirm that address. In addition, you will add your first and last name. Go ahead and add that info now. All right, once done, you will check the I agree box, because if you don't agree, you did all this for nothing because the government is forcing you to agree. But in case you can't read or you don't like to, you are agreeing to the fact that you certify that the info you just entered is correct and complete. Now, obviously, I'm not going to submit this form because it's not correct. My name's not Chuckles McGee. This is an example for your benefit, but hopefully all of your info is correct. If it is, check I agree and then click the I am human box, which will bring up a simple puzzle. Once you solve that and get that correct, you will be brought back to the submit section so you can press submit, BOIR. Once complete, it will bring you to a page similar to this page right here. Notice how it says filing success. In addition, you will notice now I have a new reporting company, FinCEN ID. That means you should have one too. This is the number we requested in a previous section. The form is done. You'll receive an email with necessary information that you can file away for your convenience later. It might take a few hours, so don't worry, but you are complete. And yes, you are welcome. And take a look at these videos that are popping up now. They're going to help you on your concrete, hydrostone, and candle making journey. Until next time, thanks for watching. Ciao.